Welcome back. I'm Zeron, and I'm bringing you Game 2 of this Reddit Dota 2 League Playoff Tournament Round 2 match between Deleted and Ironwood Branches. Deleted taking Game 1 in relatively commanding fashion. The laning phase was going relatively even up until we started seeing movement around the map and action and kills, and that all went the way of Deleted. Gyrocopter leading the way in the early game in all of that action, while Famlancer farmed up, got ahead, and carried them the rest of the way. First band out of Deleted will be the Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light was on their side last time, though. Not looking to repeat their performance, at least not in the same manner. Batrider now removed. Ironwood Branches had that last time around and weren't able to make enough use out of it to get them a win. So we're going to be seeing different lineups on both sides. Magnus again banned out. He was banned in that first round ban phase in Game 1 as well. So no chance to see him in the first couple games. Nyx banned as well. We also saw the Nyx ban in Game 1. First pick, will we see the Gyro again? He is available. First pick is wide open. Darkseer, also available. Lone Druid, Lifestealer, Wisp, also known as IO now. Still got to get used to that one. And Lifestealer is the first selection out of Deleted. We saw a Lifestealer on Ironwood Branches' side in Game 1. Wasn't able to get it done. We'll see if Deleted can make better use of him in Game 2. In response, we've got two picks from Ironwood Branches. What are those going to be? Usually you're going to expect at least one support. So Shadow Demon, very common there. Rubik also. We saw Rubik on the Ironwood Branches side last game as well.
5 seconds.
Again, Darkseer still in the pool. Lone Druid, if Ironwood Branches is so inclined. Shadow Demon, as mentioned, is the selection. Waiting on what the combo is. They could take Gyrocopter themselves. Going into reserve time, though, not quite sure themselves what they want to do. And going to take some extra time to figure that out. Shadow Demon, Demonic Purge does go through Magic Immunity, so at the very least will slow down the Lifestealer, even through Rage. Though the damage will not go through it if it finishes while he is raged. A lot of time being taken here by Ironwood Branches on this second pick. I mean, most typical pick here would have been the Darkseer, but we see Jakiro going to be the choice. So supports out of the way straight off for Ironwood Branches. They'll be able to combo up the Ice Path with the following the Disruption for guaranteed Ice Path. Not nearly as popular as using Jakiro or Lina, as the stun is not as long, nor does it do as much damage at early levels. On Jakiro, IO, the selection out of Deleted. So we will be seeing that combo this game on the side of Deleted. As mentioned before, having Lifestealer on a team with IO is relatively common and very potent. You don't have to tether to the Lifestealer. He can infest another hero, and suddenly you have an instant 3-man global gank squad as opposed to just 2. So the question will now be, are they going to select another combo hero such as Chaos Knight or Tiny or Sven or Ursa, or are they just going to rely on the Lifestealer as their primary carry? Deleted also now going into reserve time as well by quite a bit on their third pick. They may be asking themselves the same question. Do they want to pick up another IO combo? Perhaps they could consider the Nature's Prophet, again, for more global presence, both through Nature's Wrath and the teleport. Oh, and they go with Sven, so they are going with another IO combination. I expect to see Chinese guy Kubera on the Sven. Now, what ends up being interesting will be the lanes for deleted.
10 seconds remaining.
As IO is not typically an aggressive tri-lane kind of support.
Remaining.
But that would mean either an off-lane lifestealer or a mid lifestealer or dual lanes. Faceless Void, the selection out of Ironwood Branches. Now that Jakiro starts to make a little more sense. A pretty common combination. The Chronosphere combined with Macro Pyre force them to stand in that Macro Pyre, and it can do a ton of damage. Now we're into our second round of bans, and we see Queen of Pain banned out by deleted. So I'm expecting here dual lanes, so two safe lane, two mid, and an off laner out of deleted. Particularly as we see the ban of Queen of Pain.
Radiant team ban.
Warlock the ban from Ironwood Branches. They ran it last game. Not sure if we're going to see that. Darkseer the ban, so he's going to be removed. You know, vacuum into Chronosphere. It's a very valid concern. The Shadow Demon also works as a block pick, not allowing deleted to grab that as something of a counter to the Chronosphere. If you don't catch the Shadow Demon in it, he can disrupt either your target or the Faceless Void himself to interrupt the effectiveness of that Chrono. Nature's Prophet going to be removed from Ironwood Branches. The same thought and concern, though I don't think the Prophet would have fit in to this lineup. As mentioned, I was expecting dual lane top, dual lane mid, though I guess they could have abandoned the off lane entirely. Now our final ban, as we saw Bane banned by deleted, removing that as a counter pick to the Lifestealer.
Seconds remaining.
Closing in on going into reserve time once again for Ironwood Branches. Not a whole lot of time left there. Only 25 seconds remaining. And they remove the Clockwork as their final ban. As deleted is still looking to fill that off lane role and another support. Bounty Hunter, the selection for the off lane role. So we're seeing a bit of a reversal in hero selections, as we saw Lifestealer and Bounty Hunter on the side of Ironwood Branches last time around. Lone Druid the selection, and then Pudge out of deleted. That throws a big wrench in things, as this could be a support Sven, it looks like. Because otherwise we'd have a 4-role Bounty Hunter or Pudge. The side of Ironwood Branches, Lone Druid, a bit of a bizarre choice as well. I mean, we often see Lone Druid in dual carry strats, but the thing is, normally it's very common to want an aggressive tri-lane if you have a Druid, to give him the 1v1 safe lane, though he can off-lane, certainly. But he's not going to have any effectiveness during... well, hardly any of effectiveness during a Chronosphere. He's going to be eating up a lot of farm. Normally you want to have a transition carry combined with Lone Druid and have Lone Druid carry
5
late.
seconds
Whereas Faceless Void is going to be the hardest carry late as you're going to find. So it creates something of a weird position in terms of the farm with that Lone Druid pick. But yes, we are going to see a support Sven as he is picked up by BB. And that is on the side of Deleted, who's on the Radiant side. As mentioned, BB on the Sven. The other support Chib is taking up the Wisp. Hrathgar is on the Bounty Hunter. Webb on the Lifestealer. And then we have Kubera, aka Chinese guy, on the Pudge. So we have a 4 melee team on the side of Deleted, along with the Wisp. Their sole range. On the side of Ironwood Branches, playing on Dire. The Storm Spirit is taken up by Bubba Chuck in mid. Faceless Void will be controlled by Phonics, supported by O'Joy on Jakiro, and Crit Whale on Shadow Demon. And then finally, Hebo will be taking up the Lone Druid, headed towards that off lane.
30 seconds to battle.
Hrathgar loaded up on the wards, been pooled just a little bit to be able to have those. Looking to spot him out. The Faceless Void goes invis. Of course, Void not going to be carrying.
The battle begins.
The bounty's swinging around. And again, we have defensive tri-lanes on both sides. Now normally your tri-lane with a Wisp isn't particularly scary, but with support Sven, a Lifestealer, this could be a bit concerning. We're trying to contest here the pull, but it's not going to happen. Lifestealer actually going to be out of position, going to lose at least 1 CS here, as he's not going to be able to last hit that. Oh, he does get it. My bad, as he does have the Quelling Blade on him. Opts not to go with the Stout Shield, though. So that's going to make actually last hitting under tower a bit of a pain as he takes additional damage. We have had the attempted warding of this pull camp. I'm not sure if that's actually close enough to block the pull. We'll have to see when they stack, or when they pull next and the next spawn comes up, if that's actually going to block it. I'm not sure. Storm should be getting the better of this lane, but so far trading relatively evenly in CS. The hook goes out, but not able to land that. Bounty Hunter 0 for 1. Count 1695 in the chat on the hooks.
Couldn't resist. Missing bottom.
Oh, looks like it may have been enough. I didn't catch that. We do have a sentry in lane. It's actually on the side of... on the Radiant side, though, so maybe looking to spot for any sentries in lane. And it's going to be a relatively slow early game once again. But we do have potential for aggression on the bottom lane and mid lane. Probably not a whole lot going to be happening here on top. Bottle done on the Pudge. He actually has a Quelling Blade, interestingly enough. Not sure I've ever seen that on a Pudge. And a Quelling Blade on the Bounty Hunter as well. That's definitely weird for an off-lane hero. Sentry expires.
Listen, middle.
So once this gets pulled back, not going to be able to make a whole lot of use out of that quelling blade, lest he risk getting caught out. Now in a bit of trouble is potentially the Storm Spirit or Pudge, and the Pudge goes down. A misplay there. And the hook misses. 0 for 2 on the hooks. First blood goes to Storm Spirit. That was a bit of an awkward engagement, and there it is. The count on the 0-2. Here comes the stack. And there we go, no longer blocked, and they should be able to pull this lane back and start to deny some experience from this bounty hunter who's been doing quite well for himself, 12 CS. And Pudge in trouble again, taking a lot of damage but no kill. Closing in on level 6 is the Storm Spirit, going to be headed up towards top, going to find himself a double damage rune. Bounty Hunter very far up. No vision here in the jungle. If the Shadow Demon happened to be here, which he could well have been, they potentially could have had... They would have had potential to go on the Bounty Hunter. They do have a sentry ward. Again, he's very far up.
Missing middle.
And in the CS, Faceless Void leading the way.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Have not been seeing pulls even attempted on this bottom lane. And that's actually hurting the experience of the Lifestealer. He's actually behind in experience of the Lone Druid by a whole level. This lane is not really going the way that Deleted wants. The Bounty Hunter does have more Observer wards. The Sentry goes down on the Shadow Team. It doesn't spot him. There he is. But gets out of range. Hopefully that did not block his own pull camp. No more sentries available on the side of the Dire right now. Nobody carrying any sentries or dust. Now there is an engagement here at the rune. Ball lightning away. Uh-oh. That's trouble. Does not have enough mana for a hook. And now trading blows with the Wisp. He's going to kill the Wisp. He's going to kill the Wisp. Oh, man. The Storm Spirit gets the kill, and they don't have vision up here. Oh, God. A Lone Druid gets a kill on the Lifestealer. This is a disaster on the side of Deleted so far in the early game.
Missing middle. Whoa, what'd I miss?
The ball lightning down. They're going to turn this around. They're a bit of a missed ice path there, but they're going to get Sven anyway. The bear. But Jakiro gets the last hit. A hook just barely misses. Needed level 4. Not available just yet. And 4-0. Missed hook count again. We didn't get an update with that one. Trading a few hits on the Bounty Hunter. Look at net worth. It's a Storm Spirit and Faceless Void leading the way. And the off-lane Lone Druid very close.
Maybe when you're older.
I mean, the lone druid right now is level 8. I mean, 1v1, he should dominate the lifestealer at this point. Support's back in, but level 4 on the Sven going to be taking a lot of damage from just one entangle. This bear is going to be a real problem, even 1v3 right now, as long as the positioning is right. Out of the lone druid. Look at this, he's down 300 health. Does have a salve on him.
Missing top. Missing bottom.
The entangle on the lifestealer rages to get away, but if it hits another entangle here, that would be it. But he's blocked by his own creeps. Now the rotation around, looking for a stun. Here comes the Stormbolt. He was within range, doesn't spend it. Just forces him back. Lifestealer heads well back. He does go for the Midas. Not quite sure how long he's had that up. Oh, they do get the Bounty Hunter. The Faceless Void gets the last hit there. There were 2 up here, but Pudge too far back to do anything. The hook just barely out of range, not able to get him. Didn't have enough to follow up with the Dismember anyway. So I guess he could have popped the regen rune.
Missing top.
Bounty Hunter's back again. There's a Dismember. The Ice Pass over top misses. And the Storm Spirit ducks out of the Chronosphere. And they're able to get the Bounty Hunter. Pudge able to back off. But another big turnaround hook hits a creep. Has to back off again. Now going on the Lone Druid, the Stormhammer going in, all 3 with the spirits, and that's enough. Down goes the Lone Druid, a nice pick off, but no, Pudge able to pick off the Storm Spirit, lands a hook. Didn't see exactly where that was happening at the exact same time. Couple kills that are deleted. Helping to make things look just a little bit better after a pretty rough start. Faceless Void still with a nice advantage in the net worth. Midas is up. Wants to use that as soon as possible. Going to be going for the treads, as opposed to the ever so trendy phase boots. Treads overall. Oh, never mind that. We have an engagement on the Pudge hanging out near the Ancients. Entangle on the Wisp. 2 for 0, but the Lone Druid in a lot of trouble. The Ice Path going to stop them. Dust now. No one around 2 really need to dust. But that ends up being 4 for 0. And so much for things turning back around for deleted. Ten to 3, nothing really going their way. Bounty Hunter just hanging around up here. Shadow Walk just ending. Re-ups. That was not within vision, I don't believe. Oh, the hook on the Shadow Demon. Now the Void looking to back off. Does not want to encounter the same fate. Bounty trying to give vision, but retreated well into the woods. Pudge, being patient, just hanging around, eating himself into the trees. Well, quelling blading himself into the trees. Pressure coming out on the mid tower, while there's some action going down here on bottom, just a little late to the party. as Io gets the last hit on the Jakiro. Again, able to get a couple kills. The DP and immediately hooked. He's been waiting for that for quite a while. But it pays off. Now the bounty to help out here. The Chronosphere just to get away, but now going to try and turn it around. The Rot, a track from the bounty hunter. He has phase boots. No mana. Oh, the ball lightning in and not able to finish off the Faceless Void. A couple backtracks there. Helping out. And allowing the time for the support to come in. Invis picked up by the Sven. Under tower though, so not able to necessarily make as much use of it as he would like.
Missing bottom.
But Pudge caught in the Chronosphere while rotting, so just hemorrhaging health. Sven just hanging out. I believe he's dipped within vision range, though, so they know he's there. Oh, gonna try and dive on the Lone Druid. TP reaction is immediate. The Storm Spirit jumps in. He vortexes on the Bounty Hunter. Bounty goes invisible. They are able to get the Lone Druid, but the counter kill on the Bounty Hunter. Sven low, but able to survive. 1-for-1 trade there. Offlaner for offlaner, though. Lone Druid has been doing better than the Bounty Hunter in this game, both in farm and experience. Up top, we have a dive on, perhaps a hook on Faceless Void, it looks like. But able to time walk away.
Mission top. Missing bottom.
The tier 1 bottom did get pushed down. So that's the only tower down so far. Trying to put a little pressure out on the tier 1 top. Oh, out of the woods comes the hook. Not able to land that. As the Bounty Hunter again giving vision to try and help out with that. Ice Path turns it around. Here's the Chronosphere. Dual Breath. Going to get the last hit on the Bounty Hunter, but there's the Dismember out on the Faceless Void. They're going to finish him off. The Life Stealer was there. They are able to get the Jakiro behind the action as well. Shadow Demon not able to help out. Too far away. Deleted trying to swing this back around. It's been a progression downward, but suddenly a jump back up. This game far from over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As Pudge
Dire's top tower
plays
is
the
under
role of the
attack.
creepy old man in the woods. (14-9) the kills. Lifestealer now on top. That Midas helping him catch right back up. Faceless Void still looking to finish that Battle Fury.
Missing top.
Not the worst time on that. 17 minutes. Not the best either. But he did go for treads first. We have 3v3 up top. Pudge looking for a hook. Chronosphere's down for another 30 seconds, just barely out of range. They know they're all there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And backing right up. They can hold off long enough. Jakiro is level 9, so he has Macro Pyre. The Dust! They're going on the Bounty Hunter. Not able to quite catch him. The Time Walk, and he's still not able to catch him. We had a TP in from Wisp. The Stormhammer finishes off the The Shadow Demon now closing in on the Jakiro, but the rest able to back off. And somehow, some way, Wrathguard gets away, but there's a hook, and they are able to finish off Hero, but now trying to turn this around on the Pudge. Chronosphere just barely catches him, and this should be the death of Pudge. He star steps ahead. Oh, but a haste rune from the bottle. The Infest trying to help do damage, not able to finish off the Pudge, now turning around with the open wounds and the crit, able to get a last hit just before he goes down on the Bounty Hunter. Out of all of that, we had a kill on Faceless Void and Jakiro, and the Bounty Hunter on the side of Deleted. 2 for 1, including the Faceless Void. That's another fight going the way of Deleted. They are not giving up in this game. But during this, we have pressure on the tier 1. Just a little bit of damage. The Bear just finishes up his armlet. Oh, missed a kill by the Storm Spirit, picking off Sven in mid. A lot of action in this one. Pudge again looking for a hook. Does he have vision? Ice Path just barely misses, but he could be in trouble here. Ball Lightning Vortex finishes him off. I heard a TP by Io. Lifestealer is in. Not enough mana left, but an Ice Path helps hold him off just a little bit, but not enough to save the Storm Spirit. The TP back, they leave the Lifestealer down on the bottom lane, but during that, Lone Druid picks off Io. So he actually TP'd from the bottom lane into an unfortunate position. And 2 for 1, the way of Ironwood Branches in that exchange. Net worth, Life Stealer pulling ahead. Has a Mithril Hammer. We'll have to see if that's going to be a Maelstrom or a Desolator. My money's on the Desolator.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Especially since it looks like he has enough to finish a Maelstrom if he wanted to do so.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The smoke on Pudge and Io. Pudge closing in. Hook! Lands! Dismember? No, not in time. Bit of a misplay there, not able to get the Dismember fast enough. Picks up an Invis rune though. Wants to redeem himself. Walks in to that Storm Spirit image. And not able to make anything of that Invis rune. As all the heroes back off, I'm not sure why all the full health heroes are backing up entirely to the well. But now they'll move as a collective group down toward bottom. Oh. Missed a kill there on the courier, but no time for that to TP in. And that's Io alone. Jump in. Chrono. They get both the Lifestealer and the Bounty Hunter and the Pudge. 3 for 1. We lost to Jakiro in all of that. Oh, still pursuing. Stormhammer and Warcry away, and they'll finally give that up, it looks like. Or perhaps not. But Deleted, remaining heroes are far enough to get away. And there's the death of the courier. Not sure why it's still visible, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
delivering a mantle of intelligence right by the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Able to pick up that tier 1 bottom. Not a lot of towers pushed down so far, 23 minutes in. Just 3 tier 1s. 1 tower from Ironwood Branches down, 2 from deleted. We could be looking at another fight here in the jungle. Bounty Hunter scouting it out. Oh! The hook hits the Bounty Hunter, and that will defuse that opportunity. But still there. Hooks the bear. Not sure of the effectiveness of that. There's a dismember. Chrono not up for another 10 seconds. Macro Pyre on top of it all, though. Not even necessary. 3 for 1 once again. The Storm Spirit. The loss on the side of Ironwood Branch of this time. But they get the IO, Bounty Hunter, and Pudge for that price. Still pursuing out on the Sven, who Storm Hammers the bear and gets away.
Bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Now they're pulling out as the first tier 2 in this game goes down. 25-15, and the lead is starting to get quite sizable, closing in on 10,000 experience. And only around 4,000 to 5,000 gold, which compared to the experience, not nearly as much, and that is helped out almost entirely by the Life Stealer. Still leading the way, but though not by a whole lot. Faceless Void and Lone Druid right behind him. The Void, hook, dismember, track, and that's a kill.
The darkness.
A very nice kill out of deleted. Faceless Void getting pretty greedy, trying to steal the Ancients out of the Radiant side. Did not have vision, and that cost him. Double damage on the Bounty Hunter. That Janata hit is going to hurt. TP in from Io. He's with Sven. Oh! Gets caught in the ice path, but not going to be able to get away. One more hit from the Bounty Hunter, and that's it with that double damage rune. Pudge in pursuit. The hook misses. The Storm Spirit is able to go on the Bounty Hunter and get the kill there. We hear a dismember from Pudge as he does get on the Lone Druid, but with the support from the Storm Spirit, and we heard the Demonic Purge out of the Shadow Demon, enough to bring him down. Now there's Disruption and Soul Catcher on Sven. He's getting surrounded, having to run towards the enemy tier 1. And a triple kill on the Storm Spirit. Getting a bit greedy. They had the pick off on the Chikiro. Continued to pursue that out, and support came in and turned that right around. A 3-for-1 trade. And this could turn into tier 2 top now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They are able to focus this down very quickly. Not using Rabid, though, which is a bit weird. Wants to use that to increase attack speed as well as the damage. There we go.
Top tower has fallen.
A hook again hits the Bounty Hunter, which is unfortunate.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Trying to
attack.
chase out. They have a Life Stealer infested here. There they go, the infest.
Fallen.
And too much mana on the Storm Spirit, able to ball Lightning himself out of trouble in pursuit. The hook goes on the Shadow Demon. He disrupts. Still pursuing as the Bounty Hunter. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get there. They do get the Shadow Demon. Lifestealer rotating around. Chronosphere. Is he going to be able to get Pudge? Does he have enough DPS? In the meantime, we got a kill from the Lone Druid. Gets both! Double kill! Both Io and Bounty Hunter taken out by the lone druid. And Faceless Void able to get the punch and time walk away. Oh, the bash through the rage. And this is a dead Lifestealer. Entangle as well and bash. He's fighting as hard as he can. Not able to lifesteal enough. 32-19. This is where we say it's getting out of hand. 10,000 experience.
Tower is under attack.
And the fights just aren't going the way of Deleted. Even when they get the jump on their opponents. Ironwood Branches well on their way to pushing this to a potential Game 3. As far as I'm aware, Deleted has not dropped a game in an official league match to date. Now looking for Roshan are the Ironwood Branches. This is going to be going down relatively quickly. There's no way they can contest this. They've got two heroes completely out of the action. This will be dead long before they can get there, though. Not the fastest is he. I guess he lost. The bear actually died and is still on cooldown for resummon. Disruption, follow up Ice Path with Soul Catcher and Bounty Hunter finished off. Demonic Purge got the job done. Lifestealer purchased Maelstrom. Or I see Maelstrom as well. A bit of a strange order of buying items, but alright. Going pure DPS. That will help his increase his attack speed. Black King Bar is finished on the Faceless Void as well. He has a quarter staff, which I'm not sure what that's for. Off the top of my head, it could be a Force Staff or an Orchid. Or a Refresher. Is he going I think he's going Refresher. Which would be a bit bizarre. I'm not sure. Orchid you could do, though I don't think this is really a lineup that would have much concern for that. Unless I'm forgetting some obvious item that uses a quarterstaff. The Infest is on the Bounty Hunter. Ice Path catches one. That's the Sven. Oh, Chronosphere on 4. Macropyre. There's 2, 3, 4. Down. And the Aegis is popped. Wait, is the Pudge still... The Pudge actually survived. I'm not sure how, but he survived. But 4 are down on the side of Deleted. The hook on the Shadow Demon does get the kill. But I'm not sure that's going to be enough to save the melee racks. Down it goes. Another hook attempt, not able to land. Mid-racks is gone. And things just got that much more difficult for Deleted to turn this around.
Missing middle.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
At this point, I just want to see what the Faceless Void is going for. Assault Cuirass is finished on Lone Druid.
Regeneration.
A nice stack here.
Missing middle.
Best of 2. again, that's all I want. I want this game to last long enough to see what he's going to buy. Top 2 still net worth on the side of Ironwood Branches. Storm Spirit up there as well. And then there's everybody else way behind. Keep an eye on buyback. Right now, Lone Druid, the only one with buyback as... Oh, I'm a dummy. He bought the quarterstaff first on a butterfly. That's what it is. Just don't normally see the quarterstaff first on that. We have a kill up top. That's a beyond godlike streak on the Lone Druid. Gets the tangle on Pudge. Hook misses. The Lone Druid dodging all around it, and the entangle gets the bounty hunter. Now going to go on the Sven. During this, pushing down the bottom tower, 40 to 23. Experience 20,000. Gold closing in on 15,000. Way up ahead. Looks like he landed a hook. Trying to get the Faceless Void, but 3 shots the IO. Now trying to finish off the Pudge. The hook! And he gets the kill on the Faceless Void. So the Pudge been increasingly effective as the game's gone on, but unfortunately for Deleted, they've been increasingly behind as that has happened. Unfortunate death there out of the Faceless Void. Lone Druid at this point could, if he were with the rest of his team, they could have taken a secondary Rax. But as it is, we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer to see Ironwood Branches can close this out. And again, we're in a situation like Game 1, where the side behind is not the side that can afford to go late game. So the options for turning it around are incredibly limited. They will get a tier 1 top. At the same time, though, the push bottom. TP's going to be coming back, at least out of the Pudge. Gotta be careful. Phase not being used on the bear, so he's bumping into creeps along the way, but that tower melts. No reaction out of the rest of Deleted. And that seems to signal that they've completely resigned in this game. They're not even doing damage to the tier 3 right now. As their fountain is being dived, Pudge Vortex back, and that's a dead Pudge. Not even able to get the tier 3 top. The buybacks come out, trying to hold on as best they can. They're down 2 racks, though. 3 racks now. This is Mega Creeps in just a second. Ice Path catches 3. Macropyre on top of that. Bounty Hunter survives at 3 HP. But the Lifestealer not so lucky. Stormhammer hits 4. But it's pretty much academic at this point. Pudge being very slippery. But that's not enough. And there's the GG called as Mega Creeps close in. And we're going to a Game 3. And make sure you tune in to that Game 3 and find out if I can remember the recipe for Butterfly. And find out the conclusion of Deleted versus Ironwood Branches. Going to that third and deciding game. Here's our final score screen. The Storm Spirit 16-5, Lone Druid 15-2. Big damage out of the carries. And we're going to game 3. It's all tied up. Deciding game is up next.